The 2025 NFL Draft has already delivered some jaw-dropping moments, and as the picks continue to unfold, the strategic decisions of some of the league's most prominent teams are becoming clearer. One of the most exciting picks came from the New Orleans Saints, who selected an offensive lineman at number 9. This was no surprise, as the Saints have a long history of investing in their offensive line, and they remain committed to reinforcing their protection up front. With the focus on building a solid foundation, the Saints are looking to provide their quarterback and skill position players with a reliable line, ensuring that they have the stability needed to thrive in an ever-competitive NFC. 3 picks later, the Dallas Cowboys were back on the clock at pick 12. While their running back situation could use some attention, they surprised many by turning their attention to the offensive line, selecting Tyler Booker from Alabama. A consensus favorite among analysts, Booker was considered a potential top 15 pick, despite only playing a guard position. What stands out about the Cowboys' decision is their commitment to consistently bolstering the offensive line, a critical area of focus for them in recent years. With names like Tyler Smith, who was drafted in the first round just a few years ago, and the arrival of Booker, Dallas is not leaving anything to chance. Dak Prescott will have protection he needs, and with C.D. Lamb as his top target, the Cowboys' offense is positioned for a dominant future. Even though the Cowboys have added Javonte Williams at running back, the depth in the position is vast, and they can always revisit the running back position in the later rounds. The addition of Booker at this spot was a key move, reinforcing Dallas' commitment to protecting Prescott and enhancing the team's overall offensive line. Speaking of the defense, a standout selection came from the New York Giants, who took Abdul Carter with the 3rd overall pick. Carter, who could have easily been the top pick in this year's draft if not for the presence of Travis Hunter, is a dynamic edge rusher that the Giants were more than happy to add to their defensive arsenal. Despite being relatively raw, Carter has potential to be a game-changer. The Giants already possess a formidable defensive front, with stars like Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Dexter Lawrence, making it the ideal environment for Carter to develop into a premier rusher. His raw ability, combined with the mentorship and infrastructure in place, makes Carter's future in New York incredibly bright. On the other hand, the Atlanta Falcons made some bold moves to improve their defense. They went all in on edge rushers, trading up to select Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr., 2 players who can provide the pressure Falcons have long been missing. While some question the heavy compensation Atlanta gave up for future picks, the addition of 2 high-caliber pass rushers could be exactly what the team needed. With the signing of Leonard Floyd in free agency and the development of Arnold Ebedi, the Falcons are building a defense that will be feared by opponents. Walker's versatility, capable of playing both off-the-ball linebacker and edge rusher, gives Atlanta a unique weapon to move around and exploit mismatches. This dual-threat approach could be the key to unlocking a new dimension in their defense under head coach Raheem Morris. Moving to the NFC, the Carolina Panthers made a significant move by selecting wide receiver T. McMillan with the 8th overall pick. As one of the top wide receivers in this class, McMillan brings a unique skill set that will complement Bryce Young's play style perfectly. While some might argue that defense was a more pressing need for the Panthers, McMillan provides immediate help to their young quarterback, giving him a big target capable of high-pointing contested catches. At 6 feet 4 inches, McMillan can provide the physical presence in the red zone that the Panthers have lacked in recent years. The addition of McMillan to a receiving core that already includes veteran Adam Thielen, Xavier Legette, and promising undrafted free agent Jalen Cooker gives Bryce Young an impressive set of weapons to work with, ensuring that the team can move forward in their rebuilding process with confidence. As the draft unfolded, the Green Bay Packers also made a major decision by selecting wide receiver Matthew Golden, signaling a clear direction for their offense. Known for his speed and ability to stretch the field vertically, Golden will fit perfectly into the Packers system. His role in Matt LaFleur's offense will likely be that of a deep threat, which would elevate the Packers' passing attack to new heights. The selection of Golden was especially meaningful, as Green Bay has long avoided selecting a wide receiver in the first round, despite a glaring need for one. With Christian Watson struggling with injuries, Golden provides the Packers with a reliable, explosive target who can thrive in the offense LaFleur has built. In a similar vein, the New Orleans Saints turned their attention to the trenches with the selection of Kelvin Banks, a player who has consistently been regarded as one of the most consistent and solid offensive linemen in the draft. This pick underscores the Saints' long-term vision as they begin to prepare for the eventual retirement of some key players. While it may seem like a future pick, Banks has the ability to step into a starting role this season if necessary, providing the Saints with flexibility and depth in the years to come. Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers made a sneaky, yet incredibly savvy pick with a selection of wide receiver Mecca Ibuka. Ibuka, often overshadowed by some of the flashier names in Ohio State's wide receiver core, is a polished and versatile player who brings a professional approach to the game. A slot and outside receiver with fantastic route-running ability, Ibuka can seamlessly step in the role of Chris Godwin, who suffered a devastating ankle injury last season. This gives the Buccaneers the luxury of slowly developing Ibuka while also providing a reliable option for Baker Mayfield, as they look to create a balanced and dangerous offense. However, not all teams had a flawless draft. The New Orleans Saints, for instance, had a mixed outcome, particularly with the way they handled their quarterback situation. There were whispers that the Saints were in love with Jackson Dart, a player they could have easily selected had they moved up the draft board. However, their decision to stay put at 40 left them missing out on Dart, and now they face the decision of whether to roll the dice on other quarterbacks available later in the draft, such as Shador Sanders. This will be a pivotal decision for the Saints moving forward, as they must decide whether to trust in their current roster or look to the future with a new signal caller. As we look at the NFC's winners and losers from the 2025 draft, one thing is clear. This draft class has a potential to reshape the league for years to come. Teams have invested in key positions, reinforcing both their offensive and defensive lines, while others have made bold moves to address their quarterback and skill positions. With the right decisions, these teams could emerge as the true contenders in the NFC, while others may need to reconsider their strategies in the years to come.